Hello students, welcome back. Students, up to now we have done that what are biosphere reserves. Okay, and I have told you that it is the large area which aims to conserve not only biodiversity but other resources also. Okay, and I have told you that there are three zones. First one is code zone, that is the innermost zone where no human activity is involved. Another one is buffer zone, the middle zone that surrounds the core and used for the activity related to scientific research, training and education. Then comes the turn of transition zone. It is the outermost zone which is used for agriculture and housing and for tourism. Okay, and I have told you that there are different 18 biosphere reserves which are set up in our India, and the topmost are very important. They are, the first one was Nanda Devi Biosphere Reserve in Uttarakhand, then Nilgiri Bio Reserve in Tamil Nadu, and then Sundarban Bioreserves in West Bengal. Now we will start our today's topic, that is National Park. Student, what is National Park? National Park means, see, the area that are strictly reserved to preserve biodiversity, landscape and history of that region. Okay, means national park are the area that are strictly conserved or preserved for biodiversity, for landscape as well as history of that region, isn't it? Then all this development activity, like we are building dams, roads, hunting, poaching, grazing animals, all these are prohibited in national park. I repeat once again, the dams, building of dams, roads, hunting and this poaching, grazing of animals is prohibited, especially in such type of zone. Okay, and people can enter only in the buffer zone. Okay, for I have told earlier also that only buffer zone is for people interaction, isn't it? The boundaries are well marked and cannot be altered. It is strictly prohibited that no one can unmark the boundaries and alter their any changes in them. Total how many we have? Total 103 national park are present in our India, and some of them were given here. You can see Ranthambore National Park in Rajasthan, then Kanha National Park in Madhya Pradesh and Kaziranga National Park in Assam are the some of the examples of national park. So I think the national park topic is clear to you. Now let us move to wildlife sanctuary. It is the smaller in area as compared to national park and biosphere reserves. Okay, as you see, wildlife are the smallest one than national park and biosphere reserves. Okay, and it is preserved wildlife in their natural surroundings. Okay, it help us to provide the wildlife natural surrounding to the wildlife. Okay, then it help to educate people about the conservation techniques, isn't it, how to conserve, and public is allowed to accompany the forest official, means the human can move here with but with the permission of forest officers. Okay, activity like poaching, hunting, logging are strictly prohibited here. Okay, their borders but are not well define. Okay, collecting forest product and building private organization are allowed only if they are not causing any disturbance to wildlife. Why? Since these many forest products are useful for us, and for building purposes also we are using many forest product. Only and only the humans are allowed if they are not disturbing the wildlife. Okay, and there are more than 400 wildlife sanctuaries in India, and some of the examples like Dandeli Wildlife Sanctuary in Karnataka, Chinnar Wildlife Sanctuary in Kerala, and Ranthanathibho Bird Sanctuary in Karnataka. All these are the examples of national park. You can see on the map of our India also national park, wildlife and bird sanctuaries and tiger reserves in India. It was located by different scales, isn't it? You can easily see with the help of this percentage. Here we have taken one pie chart to explain that how many birds, how many mammals, and how many invertebrate fishes, all these are along with us now. Okay, then come to very interesting, the project Tiger for saving tigers. Okay, in 1973 the government started one of the largest conservation project for tiger, for protecting tigers, that is Project Tiger, to stop the depletion of tiger population and to conserve them. Okay, at present we have 27 reserves in 7 states. It was given here that different tiger populations can be conserved in these wildlife sanctuaries. Okay, now let us study who was the first national park built and when. The first natural world's first national park built up in 1872, that is Yellowstone National Park. And which one was the India's first? Yes, it was Jim Corbett National Park. And why it was given name? After the famous naturalist and photographer Jim Corbett. Okay, and where it was placed? It was placed in Uttarakhand. Okay, and it is the most attractive park of the India. Now some botanical gardens and zoological park are also built. What are these? I will explain you one by one. See, these botanical gardens are the place where large number of plants and plants are grown and labeled with their common scientific name along with their varied uses. As the name suggests, garden. In the garden, we have taken large varieties of plant. We are growing them, labeling them with their common and scientific name and their uses, isn't it? Then this, it provide an opportunity for people to learn more, then to understand them how we should conserve it and what is the reason behind for conservation. Okay, the information about plant is also used for scientific research and conservation. Okay, they are established to conserve rare and threatened plant species. Clear? So these are the type of gardens or the place where number of plants are grown and labeled and studied, okay, with their scientific name. Clear? Then see, zoological park or zoos. They are the park where animals are kept in closed or open confinements for public exhibition. There you can visit and easily see that how many type of species of different animals we have. Okay, these zoological park are created similar to the animal's original habitat. It was in zoos or in zoological park, the natural habitat was given to the animals. They serve as a place for breeding also, means they can increase their population also there, those who are rare and endangered. Okay, and zoos also provide information about the occurrence of different species of plants and animal, as I have told you earlier also, that with the help of such park we can easily get the knowledge about different type of species present in our surroundings. Okay, so I think all these things are clear to you. What are national park, what are wildlife sanctuaries, and where they are situated, what was the reason behind the project tiger, since the population of the tiger was very less at that time. To conserve them, to preserve them, we have started in 1973 a project tiger. Okay, then zoological park and botanical garden I have explained you and given the examples also. So I think the whole chapter is clear to you, and you can see the concept map also. It will make the things more easier for you people to understand, isn't it? How the biodiversity is consist of flora, fauna, then biosphere, reservoirs, national park, wildlife sanctuaries, and what is the reason that biodiversity is diminishing or threatened every time, isn't it? So many things are given in this concept map to make the things more easier to learn. It is advice from my side that before studying the chapter you should go through the concept map, and after completing the chapter also, for a revision you can have this biodiversity, uh, this concept map of this chapter, so that the things will become easier for you. In the last, let us do some keywords also. Biodiversity we have done. The variety of plants and animals seen in a particular region at a given point of time is called biodiversity. Then deforestation, cutting of trees. Okay. Species, a group of organisms that can freely interbreed among themselves. They are called species. Then desertize desertification, the process by which fertile land become desert. And in the last, conservation. This conservation, the judicious use and protection of available natural resources. And in this chapter we have studied how to conserve our plants, our animals, forest and wildlife, since they are very important for maintaining our ecological balance. So I think this chapter is clear to you, and if you have any doubt you may ask me while commenting. Up to then, thank you. Have a nice day.